Welcome back. We are now seeing a potential breakout in the internet computer price movements and price charts that we're going to be discussing today, along with some other metrics in the internet computer ecosystem. As you guys know, we cover extensively internet computer on this channel. Sometimes we do deep dives like we're going to be doing today into the internet computer ecosystem. And sometimes we just talk about macroeconomic conditions of the financial markets and crypto markets around the world globally. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and also give the video a free thumbs up. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be exploring the internet computer's price activity now that we are in the second half of 2025. Now, there has been a lot of improvements of the internet computer network in this year. In 2025, we've seen a complete reorganization of the network and of the network operations, jurisdiction compliance nodes and subnets being set up around the world in Europe, in the USA. A lot of proposals from developers and the team at Dfinity to increase and enhance some of the technological capabilities of the network. And now we are potentially seeing a breakout in the price of ICP. Now, is this going to be a sustained breakout? Are we going to new all-time record highs? Or I should say multi-year record highs, because the all-time record high is about $800 when ICP first launched, and I don't think we're going to be hitting that anytime soon. So we have to really look at like local highs in the market. And kind of understanding the journey of internet computer ecosystem, remember my viewpoint on this. And again, these are all just my opinions. I could be wrong, so make sure you guys do your own research before you make investment choices, and never, ever, ever make investment choices based on what I say. I'm just a YouTuber, and you don't know me and I don't know you. So that's not a good way to make a financial decision, right? But when we look at the price, when we look at the market cap, $2.8 billion, when we look at the comparability to other ecosystems in crypto, it seems like internet computer is highly, highly, highly undervalued. But what we are starting to see now is changes in the sentiment for internet computer, and not only for internet computer, but for compute capabilities, right? What have we been talking about a lot in internet computers ecosystem? AI, AI agents, AI compute, large language models, coding for you. And we saw this with the launch of Caffeine AI. Well, now we're potentially entering the end stages of the bull market for Bitcoin and many other altcoins as well. And if that is true and we are rotating into a bear market, can internet computer maintain and can internet computer move higher? That's what we're going to be discussing. And so that brings us to this chart from the crypto professor. He said people are looking at internet computers chart right now and pricing and getting closer and closer to a breakout soon. And you can see, dating back from 2024's high to where we are today, it seems like we're starting to kind of enter this, again, I'm not a big chartist. I don't necessarily believe in using charts as the end all, but it can give us some indicators of where we are in the cycle. And so when we look at the price chart here, right, you can see that the low was 2023, $2.93. We purchased at that time, and the price went up to $20, right, almost a 10x. And most of you were in on that trade, along with us on the channel. We did really well. But we almost did a 10x, and people are like, but Cryptoviser, internet computer hasn't had a bull run. It's like, well, what do you call this? This was a bull run. And if you go back even further, you can see this was the macro bottom, all-time record lows, not like yearly lows or cycle lows, all-time record lows. Now, this doesn't mean that the price can't go lower. I mean, there's cryptos that are worth like 1/1000th of a penny. So there is a potential that internet computers going lower. But what we are starting to see is movement to the upside, higher highs and higher lows. And that could indicate that we are potentially going to move to the upside. You see this tight range of trading here over basically all of 2025. I mean, this, where I am on the chart right here, this was January. So you can see for pretty much most of 2025, we've been downtrending or sideways trading in internet computer. And this is where a lot of frustration from the holders of ICP are starting to show, right? Because people are really upset that we're not going higher. They're really upset that we haven't seen the breakout after Caffeine AI, which was the large language model that can code and deploy apps to the internet computer for you. this didn't really have any material change in the price. We also heard Citibank was eyeing Internet Computer. We heard Mario Naufal, the largest Twitter Spaces host on X, his company, he was sending his team to go see what was going on with Internet Computer's AI capabilities. And so we're 2 months from when that launched, and we haven't seen any price movements yet. And does that mean that we're not going to? Well, in my view, we really have to look at the network metrics. And there's some positive things and some non-positive things, right? Just the other day, I posted a video about an Internet Computer DEX getting hacked and getting 50 Bitcoin stolen, which was you could clearly see that right here on the CK or Chain Fusion Bitcoin chart, where we had a 50 Bitcoin reduction. And they have recovered some of the Bitcoin since then. But my concern was the sentiment, because the Internet Computer ecosystem went crazy on me. Cryptoviser, you're just spreading FUD. It's like, did the DEX get hacked or did it not get hacked? It got hacked, so that's not FUD. That's real. If you think it's FUD, that's because you don't feel good about your investment. Because if you did feel good in your investment, you say, yeah, there was a hack, but it wasn't that big of a deal and they're working to fix it. But that's not what I got. I got a lot of Cryptoviser, you're just trying to take down Internet Computer so you could buy lower. You're trying to sell your... Guys, first of all, we don't even talk about what my portfolio is on this channel for this reason, because it doesn't matter whether I'm holding the coin or not holding the coin. But these are indicators of where we are in the cycle. And so that response that I got, which was the worst response I've ever gotten from an Internet Computer video ever, told me we may not break out, because that's not the sentiment of a bull market. That's the sentiment of a rotation into a bear market. And that's concerning. That is really, really concerning. Go watch the video. The video was called ICP DEX Hacked Again. Posted it just a few days ago. Go look at the video. Listen to the video. Listen to what I say in the video. And you tell me what I said that was incorrect, that was FUD, or that was false information. None of it was. But to the maximalists, they cannot stand to hear we had a DEX hack. By the way, not for the first time. 50 Bitcoin exiting through a theft from a DEX, that is concerning. And the fact that the holders are like, Cryptoviser, how dare you report on this? This is all FUD. To me, whoa, I think that we have to go lower before we can actually break out. Because though that mentality and that sentiment needs to be wiped out of the market. It's the same thing in Bitcoin. All these Bitcoin maximalists that are like, yeah, short it. You're going to get wrecked if you short it. And then who gets wrecked? The people who are longing it, right? Because the price ends up going down. Because that sentiment, it's this hubris of like, oh, how dare you say that the price is going to go down and that we're going to go into a bear market? Michael Saylor said we're never going to have a bear market again. How dare you, Cryptoviser? And to me, though that sentiment right there, it's a counter indicator. It lets me know I am right on target. And many of you are as well. But those people who are Cryptoviser, stop funding Internet Computer. They are so low IQ, they don't even understand what they're saying or what they're doing. You know, because what does it matter whether I'm holding the coin or not, right? I'm talking about it and I'm saying very positive things about it. But anyway, back to the chart and this possible breakout, because again, that is negative sentiment. And that's negative sentiment based on irrational exuberance or euphoria in the market, which tells me we are at the top. But we're not at the top. And I don't think that we're even close to the top for Internet Computer. Because what I see here on the chart is a nice bottom getting formed all year. Now, this does not mean that the next move is higher, right? The next move could be lower and much lower. But let's look at some of the metrics on the Internet Computer and also what people are saying. Now, this Internet Computer, clearly maximalist, right? Caffeine AI pioneer. Like, that's like this guy coming on my channel and saying, Cryptoviser, you just don't like AI. You're mad at AI. And it's like, you're clearly a maximalist. Like, your thing says Caffeine AI pioneer. So if I say anything negative about Caffeine AI, that person's going to hate me. But it's like, you can only improve the network if you acknowledge, like, wait, we lost 50 Bitcoin. How did this occur? But then the maximalists, the same thing happens in MicroStrategy. They're like, wow, Michael Saylor has created a new debt facility. This is the most groundbreaking, revolutionary thing in the world. And somebody like me who analyzes the market says, no, this is actually really not good, because that means this product is better than MicroStrategy. So why is anybody going to hold MicroStrategy? And if the MicroStrategy price drops, what do you think is going to happen to the debt holding up MicroStrategy? All of it's going to drop. But the maximalists are so clouded by their own maximalism, they cannot analyze whether it's a good investment or not. 50 Bitcoin, this should have been a big story. This should have been, we need to make sure this does not occur again on internet computer. And how can we do that? How can we utilize AI to help secure the network so that there are no exploits on these codes? But instead, Cryptoviser, you're an idiot. Cryptoviser, you're just fudding. Cryptoviser, you're an ass, right? And I literally got those comments. These people are blocked from the channel. But because this is not how we invest. If you want to be a maximalist, go for it. If you want to disagree with my investment thesis, go for it. But here's the deal. Just because you may be right doesn't mean I'm necessarily wrong. And just because I'm wrong doesn't mean you're necessarily right. We could both be right or wrong at the same time. Yes, the DEX got hacked. If you don't think that it got hacked, you're not having a serious conversation, because I'm showing you on the screen. 50 Bitcoin were stolen. No, Cryptoviser, you're just fudding. It's like, okay. Anyway, back to where the breakout is. Marlon Hank, caffeine AI pioneer, as he says on his profile. Currently, internet computer is in accumulation zone, which is good to buy if you haven't already. When it breaks out, we're probably going to see a retest close to the accumulation zone. But then the next stop is $11 or $12, forming an inverse head and shoulders will catapult us outside the $20 range. While internet computer against Bitcoin has a bullish hidden divergence, it's all about patience, and it's going to happen very soon. Okay. Now, this chart I definitely agree with, and this is what I was just showing you on this chart, right? We formed the beginning part, or I would say like the first, a little bit more than half of a full cup and handle pattern, right? A cup and handle, you create a full cup or a bowl, and then you have a little handle, and then you move back up. But we're at the bottom of that kind of range. And you can see on his chart, he even adds the kind of upward movement. And that's basically how charting does usually look. But how do we get there? Because you guys know my general thesis on this channel is that in the second half of 2025, we are at the end of the bull stage and probably in the rotation into a bear stage of the market. Now, that doesn't mean we can't go higher, doesn't mean we can't go lower. This is very highly volatile during this period of time. But how do we get up here if we're in a downtrending market, generally speaking? Great question. Let's get into that. Don't forget to give this video a free thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. That way you never miss a new video. Well, what is internet computer really pinpoint focused on right now? The AI narrative, the decentralized compute, decentralized cloud storage narrative. And what is happening in the mainstream? AI. Everything is about AI right now in the financial markets, right? We're even seeing the Bitcoin mining companies. I mean, TeraWulf just got a partnership with Google. Google owns 14% of TeraWulf when I'm recording this video. I'm probably going to increase their position. And the price of TeraWulf went up 5x from $2 to $10 just based on the announcement, because the Bitcoin mining company is now right at the end of a bull market when we're going to rotate into a bear market, which are typically not very profitable for these Bitcoin mining companies. And in the last bear market, a lot of Bitcoin mining companies went bankrupt. So now a lot of the Bitcoin mining companies are pivoting to AI, and what is happening to their price? Straight up. Partnerships, straight up. And there is a potential that we are going to see this type of thing occurring with internet computer. Maybe not, but it seems likely, right? We've already heard from Dominic, the founder of Internet Computer and chief scientist over at Dfinity, that banks are going to be utilizing one of the programs called Utopia, which is going to be built on top of Internet Computer. Now, we know the banks are involved. We know banks are interested in what Internet Computer is doing. But how involved are they going to get? Well, if the AI narrative does pick up and internet computer does get some type of partnership or testing or integration with any large corporation or bank or anything like that around the world, I think the only way is up. And here's the deal. This is very unique to internet computer. Is internet computer effectively is very close to all-time record lows. Not just like multi-year lows or cycle lows, all-time record lows. And so right now we know the low all time is $2.93, right? Or just about $3. That means there is nobody who purchased under this, unless you were part of the ICO. But we're not counting that. And so this line right here, anything under this, everybody is underwater. And when we hit this, we bounced straight up. And so if we go back to that, there is a potential we're going to go straight up. You have to understand, like a lot of these other cryptos, they're so far away from their all-time record lows. I mean, like XRP's all-time record low is like 0.001, like 0.001. It's like a tenth of or a hundredth of a penny or something like that. Solana's all-time low was 50 cents, the ICO, and we're not even close to those. Internet computer, look how close we are to the all-time record low. We're very close. A 50% drop, and we are there. And so that is unique for internet computer, along with the fact that they're involved and rolling out AI capabilities, along with the fact that banks and institutions are interested in what they're doing, along with the fact that Dfinity is backed by the Swiss government. All of these are very bullish, especially going into a bear market. Because while the rest of the market is focused on, oh, well, we trade Haktua coin and NFTs, and it's like, and meme coins and PP coin. It's like, who cares about those, right? And granted, the hack that occurred on internet computers' DEX called Odin Fun, that was trading coins, right? And part of me is like, if you're trading coins, they're going to zero regardless. So whether your money gets stolen or they just naturally go to zero, you're going to zero regardless, right? But that's what the focus has been, Solana, right? Like, what does Solana have AI capabilities? None, right? They have meme coins on them. That's it. And so when we're rotating into a bear market, these investors who either exit those high performing positions that are not internet computer, or they rotate into positions that they think are going to perform better in a downtrending market. And I believe the Bitcoin mining companies that are involved in HPC and AI, they're going to do fairly well. Internet computer is in that same range as well, and same category of technology, of implementing artificial intelligence with on-chain compute, on-chain storage, on-chain security. This is a differentiator. Doesn't mean the price is going to go up, but we're starting to see that to me, it seems like there's more bullish sentiment in internet computer from a technological standpoint, from a technical charting standpoint, from an implementation of new technology standpoint. It just seems like internet computer is setting up for something big. And you can see every time we had this downtrend and then a sideways trade, we went up after. Downtrend, sideways trade. What's going to happen after this? Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go up, but it looks that way. Now, this brings us to Fabio, one of the well-known internet computer influencers and YouTubers. He said, this is a massive opportunity for internet computer and caffeine AI. Now, he's responding to this, which says Lovable projects $1 billion in ARR within the next 12 months. Vibe coding startup. Vibe coding is basically like utilizing AI to help you code. That's the easiest way to explain it. Like caffeine AI is vibe coding. Vibe coding startup Lovable aims to hit $1 billion in annual recurring revenue within the next 12 months, according to their CEO. Speaking on Bloomberg TV, the CEO said the company grows at least $8 million in ARR a month. I don't know what average revenue, anyway, whatever. In a blog post, the company said it passed $100 million in ARR just 8 months after making its first $1 million. It's a 100x. It's pretty crazy. The CEO told Bloomberg that the company is projecting to reach $250 million in ARR by the end of the year and hopes to reach $1 billion within the next 12 months. And so Fabio said, this is a great opportunity for internet computer and caffeine AI. He said, I already compared Lovable to caffeine, and the results are similar. Lovable is aiming to hit $1 billion in revenue in the next 12 months. Let's imagine they only achieve a fraction of what they're estimating. It's still a lot of money. He said, even if I compared Lovable to Caffeine, it's very important to mention that Caffeine owns the entire stack after the code generation. Replit, Lovable, etc., are more middlemen than broker between AI models and development platforms. He said, I think Caffeine has massive potential to generate a lot of revenue. Anyway, what I really want is to see more users, developers, and investors. I believe this goal can be achieved with Caffeine. And I agree too. I mean, there's no other blockchain ecosystem that is implementing AI the way that Internet Computer is. Now, obviously, there's questions that we have about the profitability, how they're going to generate revenue, how this is going to make money for the network. Are people going to use this? Can the App Store get traction, and where can people utilize the App Store? Can it get integrated into mobile devices and stuff like that? Like, there's still a lot of questions that we have, and I think as time goes on, we'll either see the results or get answers to a lot of these questions. But we're at the very early stages, and this is a great opportunity for Internet Computer to be able to kind of maneuver and adjust and figure things out. But with most AI companies, you have to understand, the monetization is the hard part. I don't know how Lovable is hitting these numbers at all. What is ARR? ARR revenue. Let's see. Annual recurring revenue. So they went from basically 1 million ARR to 100 million in very, very short period of time. To me, that says that big companies, probably like Google and stuff like that, are signing on board. We haven't yet seen any contracts or big partnerships or collaborations with Caffeine AI or Internet Computer or Dfinity just yet. Doesn't mean we're not going to have it, but I try not to set my thesis up around what ifs. Right? What if Google signs on board with Internet Computer? Because what ifs are, I mean, you can go on and on with what ifs. I want to know what is. And so right now we don't have any of that with Caffeine AI. So that's something that we have to keep an eye on. Are companies going to be looking, not just looking at Internet Computer and what they're doing with Caffeine, but actually testing it or using it? That's a question that we're probably going to have to wait a little bit longer for, because they haven't fully released Caffeine AI to the open public yet. I think they're going to be doing that within the next few weeks. It may already be done by the time you're watching this video. But really, we want to see larger scale integrations. And we do have a little bit of time till the end of the year to see if that gets implemented. If it doesn't, and the market starts rotating into a bear market, then we may go further down. But as you guys can see here from the chart, it is kind of sideways trading all year. So what is that actually going to mean? A breakout or no breakout? Well, Fabio continues saying, I'll repeat what I said multiple times. Caffeine AI is much, much better than what I initially expected. The pay for usage phase is something I'm looking forward to with particular interest. He said, as mentioned, if the price of the service is competitive and if Caffeine is marketed properly to the public, it's game over for 99.9% of snake oil narratives in crypto with no real life use cases and utility. And I would agree, right? Dominic, the founder of Dfinity, has basically said that they are going to, move into some kind of pay to use system, which obviously they can't just release this product for free and usage for free. And again, OpenAI is dealing with this, XAI, Google AI. They're trying to figure out how they can monetize this, because it takes up a lot of compute power and bandwidth to actually just, get the results for very easy prompts. And so that's something that they have to kind of figure out. And it's not just Internet Computer that's trying to figure that out. But when they do open up this pay for usage stage or phase of Internet Computer's Caffeine AI, it's going to be very interesting. And they're probably not going to release all the data for that to us, but they're going to know whether there's interest in using this or not. And that's going to be a clear indicator of kind of where this is going to go in the next couple of years. Because again, I think that the general crypto market is going into a bear cycle. And so for these cryptos to maintain the price or go higher, they need to be in a narrative that is not the same cycle as Bitcoin. And I think that AI is in a different cycle than Bitcoin. So you're integrating AI capabilities on chain with a decentralized network. This potentially could put Internet Computer in a different category. And like to what Fabio said, none of these other blockchains are able to do anything to this degree. I mean, even the largest AI crypto project out there, which is called Artificial Superintelligence ASI, I think it's called the ASI Alliance, they merged with two other blockchains last year, and we're now over a year since the merger, and there's no product. Like, they have no product. That's why artificial, I guess it's not the number one, it's number what, 5 or 6. And you can see BitTensor and Near Protocol haven't heard anything from either of these projects since the middle of 2024. We're over a year later, and they haven't really done anything or released any, groundbreaking technologies or products an Internet Computer has. And so that puts Internet Computer in a different category, in my view, into this bear market. But again, this doesn't mean that we're going to get the breakout that we want or the sustained breakout that we want. Because in a downtrending market, everything falls together. So it's not just going to be Internet Computer, it's going to be the rest of the market as well. And so that leads us to the question, is Internet Computer investable? And where is the price going to go? Are we actually going to see this breakout continue and go reach these multi-year highs that we've had, like $20 or higher, in the next year or so? I don't know the answer to this question. I think that a lot of this relies on what interest caffeine AI has, because it's not really about caffeine AI. It's about the usage of the network through caffeine AI. And so if caffeine AI gets a lot of users, then all the metrics on the network are going to continue to increase into a bear market for the general crypto space. And that could be bullish for Internet Computer. But if nobody's using it or very few people are using it, the network metrics are not going to show that network activity is increasing. One of the things that we heard from Dominic just a few months ago was that he anticipates transaction throughput to increase by a factor of 10x over the next few months. Well, we're in the next few months, and we have not seen the sustenance, I should say, of these high numbers, right? 10,000 transactions per second, 15,000 transactions per second. We are still seeing elevated bandwidth, right? 4,000 transactions per second. This puts Internet Computer very in line with Solana as the fastest blockchain on the planet. But are we going to see more improvement, or is that it? If that's it, the on-chain metrics really determine where the prices of these coins go and the market caps. But listen, there's a lot in the pipeline for Internet Computer. There's a lot that's being built. There's a lot of testing. And I hope that this stuff works out. I really do. Because I am invested. And I don't know how long I'm going to be invested. I don't know if I'm going to hold the coin or I'm going to trade it or what. I don't know that answer on this video. What I do know is the sentiment from my previous video about the Bitcoin theft tells me that Internet Computer is in the bear market or in the rotation into a bear market based on the sentiment. Because in an uptrending market where people are confident about the network, they will say, yep, we did get a theft. This is not acceptable. We need to address why was this a code issue? Was this a network compliance issue? Like, how did this occur and how do we fix it? But that's not what I heard in that video. I heard, Cryptoviser, you're fudding. What's FUD? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I'm not in fear. I'm not uncertain. I'm not in doubt. You are, because you invested in something that you don't believe in. And you see a hack or a theft of 50 Bitcoin as really bad, which it is. But that's why you're responding that way. And typically those responses of like, everything is FUD, right? I'm literally showing you on-chain metrics that show that there was a Bitcoin theft. And people are saying, Cryptoviser, you're FUDing. Well, FUD does not mean it's not valid. And typically when I hear this, because it brought me back to Cardano days, when I hear this, it tells me I'm on the ball. And it tells me that of where the cycle is. And so as much as I believe that we are going to break out and that the AI narrative with Internet Computer is going to allow Internet Computer to move not necessarily highly correlated to Bitcoin or the bear market moves, the sentiment makes me believe that the cycle's over for Internet Computer. Because granted, we have been sideways trading all year in 2025. But we did perform in 2023 and 2024, going from $3 to $20. And so the movement, that was before we even had AI. Now we have AI, and there's an issue with a DEX that's built on internet computer, and the ICP ecosystem is in denial about it. And so when you look on a psychological market charts, it tells you that when they're in denial about it, the cycle is over. And not just like we're going to have another pump. It means it's over and we're already in the downtrend, which based on the charts, we are in the downtrend, and we have been in a downtrend since the beginning of 2024. A year and a half later, we are still in that downtrend. We have not broken out of it. And so from a technological front, I believe a breakout is imminent. But from a sentiment front, I don't think internet computer is going to go much higher than this cycle, because of y'all, not because of the technicals, not because of the charts, not because of the internet computer's dashboard showing improved metrics across the board. This is all bullish. This all makes me really like super bullish and believe that we are going to see much higher prices. But when I see the sentiment from the ecosystem, it tells me it's over. And that's not even the network telling me that. That's you guys. That's the investors telling me that. And when the investors are starting to question their own investments, it's over. Because eventually you're going to get some of those people that are questioning that investment, they're going to start selling. And they're not going to be selling because of what I said. They're going to be selling because they're realizing, I'm saying that, it's the same thing in MicroStrategy. The MicroStrategy bulls are saying, you got to buy now when the MNAV is 1.6 for MicroStrategy. And it's like, wait, so you want me to buy a stock for $1.60 and only get $1 worth of value in the stock? That's the time to buy? That's the bottom? No, it's not. When they realize this, these bulls, when they realize this for MicroStrategy, they're going to dump all of their MicroStrategy shares. But that's not because of the bears. That's because of their own doing, their own blindness to where the network is. They should have sold months ago. And so when I get this kind of reaction on a channel from a clear missing Bitcoin on the network, and they're saying, Cryptoviser, you're just fudding, you're misrepresenting the network. I'm like, what? I don't think that internet computer can break out. As much as I want to believe it will, and the technicals, all the metrics are telling me we are due for a breakout, y'all's sentiment tells me, nope, it's over. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm sure guys are probably going to hate this video too, and that will further solidify that it's over. And I don't want it to be. I still hold internet computer. I still believe in internet computer. I believe in the technicals. I believe in the AI capabilities. I believe that the banks are going to be using it. We see all the metrics improving, amazing. Fastest blockchain on earth, more transaction throughput than any other blockchain can even handle. The only blockchain that is on-chain storage, on-chain cloud, the world's computer. But I'm bullish. Y'all are not bullish enough. And the reason I know y'all are not bullish enough is because you can't even say, wow, we got a 50 Bitcoin theft. And that's a problem. You guys are saying, no, it's not a problem. It's not internet computer. No, it has nothing to do with internet computer. And it's like, no, it does. It does. And so with that, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see this breakout that the metrics are telling us is going to happen. The charts are showing us is going to happen. But y'all are creating an environment that I don't know that it can. And not you guys, like most of my viewers you guys get it. Number one, you all give the video a thumbs up. Some of you are members of the channel, and I appreciate all of you being members of the channel to support. But there's a lot of people who come on the channel and they are, they're just looking for bullish news all the time. And there is a lot of bullish news. But if there's a bearish news or a theft on the network, they don't even want to acknowledge it. And that, like, it has to be, because the banks are going to question, like, wait, 50 Bitcoin was stolen? How did that occur? And what is being done to make sure that it doesn't occur again? But the bulls, they can't hear it. They're like, what do you mean? What do you mean, Cryptoviser? You sold all your coins? It's like, I didn't say anything about that. But you're assuming that because that's your own bias. That's your own FUD. You're FUDing yourself. My videos are not FUD. But when you come on and say, oh, Cryptoviser, you're FUDing, you're literally labeling data about the network as FUD. And so how can anybody take it serious, including myself? I can't. And so, yeah, with videos like that, it just brought me back to the Cardano days where everything is, amazing. Cardano is the best technology on the planet. It's better than every other blockchain on earth. And if you say anything different than that, everyone says that you're just FUDing, you're an idiot. And do we cover that blockchain anymore on this channel? And does that blockchain perform from a price perspective? No. But internet computer is different, and different than a lot. But it seems like the ecosystem is at the bear stages, right? It's at the end of the bull market, as they say. But hopefully we do get this breakout. And I really do hope that we see integrations of artificial intelligence with some major companies, maybe some major collaborations, whether it happens now, during a bear market, or in the next bull market, I don't know. But I think that I think it's baked in. I think it's inevitable if internet computer stays on this technological growth path. And it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very hard. And a lot of companies are going to want to see the product in production. So again, this means that they have to figure out a pay model. That way the network can afford to actually continue to run the AI on chain, and then obviously run the canisters and the canister smart contracts and all the cycles and all of that. Because again, they're deploying the large language models on internet computer, are deploying these dApps on chain. And so that is really critical to understand as well. But we will see. We will see. A lot of people think that we're in line for a breakout on the ICP charts. I definitely see it. But at the end of the day, sentiment is what moves the markets, not the metrics. At least at the top of the market or at the bottom of the market. And I think that we're at the top of the general crypto market for this cycle. It doesn't mean that the cryptos are all going down. It just means the general top is here. And for us to go higher, the sentiment needs to connect with the actual technology and where the technology is. Otherwise, the banks are not going to be interested. Companies are not going to be interested. And yours truly, I won't be interested. Because this is a channel about investing. This is not a channel about maximalism. This is not a channel about, roses and sunshine all the time, right? We are here to make money in the markets. Hopefully, we can all make money together. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications, and I'll see you on the next video. Invest responsibly, do your own research, and crypto on.